Am I wrong for canceling my wedding 2 weeks before it happened? Everything was paid for: the venue, the food, the flowers, non-refundable. Guests were flying in from across the country, some even from overseas. My dress was hanging in the spare bedroom, sparkling in the late afternoon light, and my shoes were lined up neatly beneath it. Months of planning, endless Pinterest boards, color-coordinated seating charts. It all felt so real. Everyone kept telling me how lucky I was, how perfect everything looked. And for a long time, I believed them. My fiancé and I had been together for 4 years. No big red flags, no screaming fights, no cheating scandals. Just comfort, stability, and routine. The kind of relationship people nod approvingly at. When he proposed, I cried. I said yes, without hesitation, imagining the life we'd build together. The house, the vacations, maybe even kids someday. 2 weeks before the wedding, his parents came into town early to help with last-minute planning. One evening, I realized I'd left my phone charger in his car and went down to the garage to grab it. His dad was already there, sitting on a folding chair, quietly talking on speakerphone. I wasn't trying to listen, I swear. But then I heard my name. He said, "She doesn't need to know that part. After the wedding, things will settle down." I froze. My heart started pounding so hard I thought it might burst through my chest. Then my fiancé spoke. Calm, casual, like he was talking about the weather. "Exactly. Once we're married, she won't have much of a choice anyway. She'll get used to it." My stomach dropped. My legs felt like lead. His dad chuckled. "That's marriage. You just have to lock it in first." I stood there, silent, as the conversation continued. They spoke about me as if I were a strategy on a chessboard. They joked about how I'd eventually quit my job to support his career, even though we had explicitly agreed I wouldn't. They talked about children I wasn't ready for. "She'll come around." They even discussed financial decisions I had never agreed to. Each sentence felt like a punch to the gut, and I couldn't breathe. For hours afterward, I kept replaying it in my head. The way he said it so casually. The way they laughed like it was some harmless joke. I went through the motions for the next 2 days, finalizing seating charts, checking RSVPs, helping his mom organize the dessert table. But every time he held my hand, every time he smiled, all I could hear was, "She won't have much of a choice." Finally, 2 days later, I made the hardest call of my life. I canceled the wedding. It wasn't easy. I sent messages, made phone calls, lost deposits. Guests were furious. My parents were devastated. His family said I was dramatic, paranoid, sabotaging something perfect over a misunderstanding. He cried. He begged. He said I had misunderstood, taken it out of context. He swore it wasn't what it sounded like. But I couldn't unhear it. I couldn't pretend it wasn't real. That night, I packed up my dress, my shoes, my jewelry, my planner, everything that tied me to that wedding. I left it all behind and slept in my apartment, alone, feeling a strange mix of heartbreak and relief. I didn't cancel the wedding because I was scared of marriage. I canceled it because I realized I was about to marry someone who saw me as a plan, a possession, a future asset, not a partner. And I chose myself before it was too late. Because what she learned changed how she saw him forever. I finally understood that love isn't about control, manipulation, or plans made behind your back. It's about choice, respect, and being seen as a person, not a possession. Canceling the wedding wasn't just walking away from him. It was walking toward myself. And for the first time in years, I felt free.